Welcome to the Core Women Podcast, the place for women entrepreneurs, authors, and self-starters looking to build community and gain valuable insights through expert interviews with women at the top of their game. Join your host, podcaster, producer, expert coach, entrepreneur, and author, Dr. Summer Watson, as she aims to inspire and empower you through these candid conversations. Lean in and embrace the journey. It's time to start the show. Here's your host, Dr. Summer Watson.
This week on the Core Women Podcast, I'm thrilled to welcome Amanda Jeffs, a visionary leader where AI meets marketing. As the founder of MRKT, Amanda blends human creativity with AI innovation to help entrepreneurs and small business owners unlock incredible potential in the digital world. But her impact doesn't stop there. Amanda is also the creator of She Is AI, a trailblazing digital magazine that champions women in tech. Amanda is a driving force in making AI accessible, inclusive, and genuinely transformative. Get ready to be inspired as we explore her journey, insights on AI, and how she envisions a future shaped both by technology and human connection. Welcome, Amanda.
Woo! Oh my gosh, I'm excited to talk to her.
Well, we have so much to jump into today. But before we dive into your professional journey, if you could describe your life to this point in one word, what would that word be and why is that word important to you?
The word is somewhere between dynamic and exploring. I'm constantly learning, constantly exploring. And as a generator, everything I do is full of energy and passion, and it's dynamic and it's flowing, and it's like doing 50 things all at once. And it's always like full speed ahead and lots of ideas. So it's the best word is it energy.
Yeah, I love it all. Dynamic energy, dynamic
Yeah,
energy. If we,
dynamic energy. Can I have a hyphenated word? I think, yeah.
Absolutely. You can have whatever you want, right?
Yeah.
But I do like to ask for that one word, even if it's a phrase, even if it's two words. It gets us thinking about what is our feeling? What is that energy? What is the energy we're putting out into the world? Dynamic flow, dynamic energy, dynamic vibrations. All of it
Oh,
is
yeah.
awesome. So tell us a bit about your background. What inspired you to dive into marketing, AI, and to bring your creativity into the mix? And how did MarketWorks come to life? I know that's a lot in one question, but if you can give us a snapshot of how that started for you, what were you passionate about? What sparked those neurons to say, oh my gosh, I love this. I love bringing AI, creativity, and all this together.
Love that. Ever since university, I was always interested in something that combined people and psychology and IT and technology together. And I always say, like I was at university, pre-cell phones, pre-social media, pre-tech, pre all this thing. And I was like, what is the future of like where marketing and people and technology come together? And I was like, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to study. And it didn't even exist. So I studied IT, I geeked out, and then I went over to marketing and then I did that. And then I did the creative. I spent 20 years studying psychology and then I pull all that together and then just in a unique way that has allowed me to understand the tech and the platforms and how things are built, how things are run. I've coded websites with HTML, and then I go and I can make the images and I can bring the creativity to something. Then I've done creative writing, so I can write the copy. So I understand construction of writing, I understand graphic design, construction of images, I understand how things are built and the software. So I can nerd out on a platform, but I can also tell people about the creative side. But I also in marketing theory understand the psychology, how people think, colors, logos, psychology, copywriting, all this kind of thing. And I love to pull all that together. And it's just the intersection of these things have always fascinated me and always love it. And I'm always like, do you realize marketing is psychology? Marketing is so much deeper than that. And, take a long story short, I guess when AI has come along, and I'm like, wow, there's the piece that just blows the lid off anything we've ever known, and in a way that is just blowing our minds in terms of having technology that allows creativity to come together. And so I've just jumped on it and been 100% swimming in the pool of AI ever since it's sort of become able to be used by people mainstream. And I just love it. So I pulled that together in over a year of exploring and sitting down and thinking, how do I combine all my skills and passions together? And what does that look like? And if that was going to be an agency, it's time to do my own thing. And what would that look like? And, that was a process. It took a little bit long to figure out what that was and how that could come together. But I was like, that intersection, I love it. And I want to show people AI in this new paradigm. And how do I teach clients all this stuff and I bring it together? So I was like, I just got to make an agency that does all of these things together on the cutting edge. And then the name MarketWorks came up. I don't know where you say where inspiration and names come from, but when I was making a company and this name came together and then built on my marketing. And yeah, I've just loved working with clients, and I've been doing some workshops and training courses on AI, which has been wonderful, and loved, supporting, mentoring people. I've mentored some students at the university, just helping people like, what is AI? What is it? How do I get into it? And yeah, just loving it. So it's a natural evolution for me, long story short.
I love that. You know, what you describe, people, psychology, technology, IT, now AI, and that intersection, how do they all come together? It's so important because many of those things people fear about wellness, psychology, technology. How do I use it? Is it going to take my job? There's so many things that people fear about it. So you're going into different universities, you're working with university students, you're working with other folks to educate and offer service to say there's a reason for all of this and we're not going back. So, however you decide to embrace it, at least learn about it so that you can use some of it. I want to talk about how you envision AI impacting the future of small businesses and entrepreneurship, but also how, when we're using AI, do we maintain that human component?
Two-part question. Can I answer that in two parts? Because they're
Yes,
beautiful
please.
questions. I'll touch on the first bit first. One, how to remain the human in a time when this technology could take over. It is really important that people remain connected to their empathy and their compassion and always put the human in the work, even if you're using the AI tool. It could very easily become a future where we're robot talking to robot, customer service robot talk to the other customer service robot, and we're sitting there and everything becomes robotic. Our responses become robotic. We become robotic. The robot tells us what to eat, what to do, and the AI is running our life. Very easy for it to become that way. And having explored AI, I could see how everything could be, your whole brain could be outsourced and we could become robotic. However, the power is in people. I always work intuitively, and this planet really needs to be connected to their empathy and compassion now more than ever, because we're unprecedented times where people need to connect with people. And the power is in people using AI as a tool for good. Everything can always be used for bad. Look at social media. There's always trolls, but it is an incredibly powerful and positive tool used the right way. The tool reflects the consciousness of humanity. So if we're going to use that tool positively, the outcome is positive. If we're going to use it to create more porn and war tools, that's going to be the outcome. So it is really important in my message with women using AI, put your woman emotion and humanity into everything we do, in every piece of work that you do, and bookend it with your humanity to keep the tool working in conjunction with humanity and not overtaking us or overriding us or becoming our brains or letting us become robotic. That is really important. Second off part of that is anytime you're using AI as a tool, bookend it with yourself, just like you would brief work to an agency or briefing work to a tool to do it. You begin it, you start it, you brief it, it's your idea, it does the work for you, it comes back, you review it, you check that brief, you update it, you give feedback, you then get the quality output. So there's always a human in it. It's never replaced us, overridden us. In fact, it is enhancing creativity of everyone I talk to, architects, engineers, designers, photographers, graphic designers that you think would not like it. It is enhancing everything we do. So I want people to embrace that, embrace the future and learn how to use it and be aware and not be afraid. But that's how we got to keep ourselves a more positive future. The second part of your question was the impact on business.
Hmm.
Yeah, and how we see that going. Some people have projected, I can't pretend this is my projection, that anyone that is not learning AI or leveraging AI within the next couple of years will be left so far behind, you pretty much can't keep up and you might be left out of the market. Things will evolve so fast. It would be an ostrich in the sand to think that you think this is a passing fad or to not learn it or leverage it. Now, I have listened to some AI experts say you've got this year, pretty much is almost over, and next year to learn it, get up to speed while the learning curve is not huge. Otherwise, after that, yeah, learning curve is so big and it's moving so fast exponentially. Anyone that knows AI every week is a long time in AI world. It's not just like, oh, what's the social media thing we got to do now? The social media, do
Yeah.
we need a Facebook page? Do we need that? Can we avoid that? Oh, we don't need, oh, do we need a website? Do we have to have a website? Going back again, do we have to have a fax machine? What's this marketing thing? Like, and if you don't, you're going to get left behind. So I just want all businesses to start learning it as a tool, move past the fear, enable your employees, if you have them, to be educated. The power is in educate. That's why I'm educating everyone I can, and children and youth and women, to be upskilled in AI so that you're not left behind. In countries, even at a global level, that do not embrace AI, some countries I'm seeing when I talk to people globally are very much on board with AI. They're very equitable, men and women, right, leading the future in AI. Not so much in the country where I live. There's a very small pocket of people getting into it, and everyone else is. There's quite a lot of fear and a little bit of education required. Countries that do not adopt it will be left behind, just as countries that do not adopt more sustainable practices for the environment in the future will be left behind, because the world is changing and it's just time to get on the bus.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for what you've described. I have to go back to something you said. It was a phrase you used to reflect the consciousness of humanity. It reflects the consciousness of humanity. And you, having studied psychology for 20 years, bringing in creativity using AI, how is this reflecting the consciousness of our humanity? And I think that's a practice. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's going to be a practice and something that we are going to need to focus on, because I think the fear is that it takes away that humanity. But as you described, we might put something into AI. We might prompt it. We might get something delivered, but we look over what it's developed for us and we input that humanity. We input ourselves into that. It's never lost. It's how you're using the tool. When this started coming out, Chat GPT, AI, all these different things, people were really concerned. People are saying, this is going to take my job. This is going to do A, B, and C. Well, I've talked to a lot of people who work in different industries, especially those that are content writers. And they were like, oh my gosh, this is definitely going to take my job. And many people that I know who work for other big agencies said, no, it just enhances the quality of my work. And so I think when you have that shift, that mindset shift in how you're using it, how you're ethically using it, right? Because we as humans, we can choose how we use anything, like you said, whether it's social media platforms to AI to whatever, it's how we choose to use it. But reminding ourselves, reminding community that it reflects the consciousness of humanity. I just love that phrase. Thank you.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And I'll touch on something that is a very small example. Like, people are like, well, what does that mean? And what can I do about it? Well, when you realize that everything you use in it, every time you prompt an AI tool, image generation or chat GDP, that reflects your thoughts, your bias, your everything, you're feeding it training data. You don't realize every human using AI is training the model. So we had a woman that submitted an article to my magazine recently. It talked about the bias of AI, that is fundamentally has a bias, which you will notice if you use Midjourney enough. It has certain perceptions of woman in beauty, as an example. Now, if every woman training that model expanded its model of beauty and stereotypes to encompass more diverse backgrounds by prompting more diverse reality, that can start to break down the bias that is fundamentally in the AI algorithm, because it is built off the body of data of work that exists of the whole of humanity that is publicly searchable, right? And what's it based off of? A lot of porn and imagery and certain male orientated biases, right? And women are underrepresented in AI. So, as an example, get women's representation in AI and start training it and shifting the model and expanding its awareness and thoughts about what is stereotype, how we think, what is beauty. Just as a small example, that's one way. So every one of us is training this model as into a more positive direction.
That is incredible. I love that example. That is so important because it does become more intuitive. It is learning. And as I use it too, I'm learning, of course, and it's learning about me. It's learning about my characteristics. It's learning about the way I speak. It's learning about my psychology. And so what it's pushing out to me or giving back to me or feeding back to me is things that it's learned about me, and very quickly. We definitely have an opportunity to train it. I love that you said that and gave that really impactful example. So thank you for that. I want to talk about She is AI and how it celebrates women in tech. Tell us more about this digital magazine that you've created and its mission and why this is important to you. Tell us more.
I'm so excited. Where to start? So, a little bit about it for anyone that doesn't know. She is AI magazine is a new magazine concept that I made because after exploring AI, I have seen not the representation of females that I'd like to see in obviously in the tech and AI spaces. Story as old as time. Secondly, I'm seeing a space for a global community of women. Everyone individually is doing amazing work, but I haven't found a platform and community that necessarily brings everyone together in a cohesive way, collaborating and working together, or in a way that could pull together everyone's work on one platform. A variety of amazing things that everyone's working on. You have to go to different websites, different communities, different courses, different, which is amazing. But having a platform that would highlight and showcase all women globally in their voices and their work and their innovation in AI, particularly, would be incredible. And there's a space for that. So once I founded this idea, the ball started rolling and I just sat down at the computer and typing and all this stuff just flowed out and I realized it's going to be bigger than me. Then I put the call out to my like AI group and network and I'm like, hey, ladies, who's keen? This is like bigger than me. I can't build a whole magazine myself. It'd be delusional to think that I could do an entire, magazine and marketing campaign myself. So I pulled together an incredible team of women. Kudos to them. One of them made this awesome image behind us. It's us on the She Bus with the She magazine. We launched recently, and yes, it is a global publication, digital magazine. A few missions behind it that I'm really passionate about is obviously highlighting the voices of women globally, a combination of their thought leadership, their creativity, their innovation, and just seeing what everyone is up to. And the more we scratch the surface, the more incredible women we're finding in this space and what they're doing. Two, I want to highlight women of diverse backgrounds and cultures from every country around the world that I'm finding don't always have the same experiences and access to information that women in America, for example, do. And women in other countries would love to learn about AI and have access to this information and be empowered to be able to learn in the same way that we almost feel is our given right to be educated and free in our countries. We want to give that same ability to everyone else and share the love and the wisdom. And three, we're building a global community. So there's another way that people can stay in touch and network and collaborate and literally come in and do some training courses and learn a bit more AI and talk to some of the contributors and have expert sessions. And so there's another way we want to bring everyone together and give back. And it's almost a little bit about education. The magazine, I always say it's got like the three, legs of the stool. Is
Mhm.
one is like education, as I've been talking about, is really important. So it's part thought leadership, part education with articles and how-tos and interesting, really relevant information that anyone can take away, like from someone who's using AI in business to expand their skills, or someone's like, what is AI? How do I get started? They're going to learn something. Two, we bring together creativity in through AI art and video and animations, which is obviously everyone loves looking at art and video, and there's some incredible people making some incredible AI art. And they say, look, it's early days and we're already loving the stuff they're making. So to be able to showcase that and also to be able to have a magazine that's digital so that we can have a video filled magazine. This isn't just a book with columns that you're flicking through. This is like an interactive book with AI videos and films in it that you can watch and play and interact with. Like, how many magazines do that? I haven't found any. And thirdly, just bringing together everyone in one platform and have the mix of a stunning magazine. Kudos to, Rachel, the lead brand designer and the AR artist and all these women on the team who have helped make fantastic content for the magazine already. Amazing. Kudos to all of them with the passion and the love and everyone's put together. Because I'm a really passionate, heart-centered person, everyone I work with is really values aligned. They all love the bigger picture. They see collaboration as key and integrity. They see the mission of a bigger mission, globally supporting women, amplifying their voices and all of that. So all of us working on it just have a love of this in this mission. And so many women I've talked to, even contributors, like, I love this. How can I help you? It's amazing. I was like, yes, that's the spirit I want. Everyone just showing up and collaborating, and this is amazing. It's like a movement. It's not even a magazine, it's a movement now. I think someone said this is a movement, and it's growing. And look, we're hoping that we can do a summit, a big dream next year. Heard it here first, like an all-woman speaker 2-day summit on all like AI, everyone globally from every country around the world. AI art showcase. You can come and see businesses at the expo. You can promote stuff. You can come and listen to all women just absolutely blow your mind, like level summit. That'd be amazing. So we've got big dreams. big goals. Issue 2 is coming out in January. Issue 1, we're off the wall. Such great feedback from everyone. Globally, it's amazing. We're always taking contributors. We're finding more all the time, and there'll be an issue out really regularly. So super excited to see where that's going.
Well, this sounds absolutely awesome. She is AI. This is fantastic. Even MarketWorks, everything that you're doing really brings about thought leadership, education, creativity, psychology, women coming together, the collective, the idea of having an AI tech academy of sorts. They're educating with other women and bringing about those changes and bringing up those changes that are occurring within the field, within business community, within education, and having this be global is incredible. I love what you're doing here. I have just a couple of other questions, and you touched on one of the questions, and it's about your inspiration. How do you stay inspired and continue to innovate in a field that's evolving as rapidly as AI and marketing? How do you stay inspired?
It's probably really simple because I love it. I don't think, oh, there's a new tool I have to get across and learn something. I've nerded out on I've even written an ebook on the top 95 AI tools that I've tried that you guys should go and download, and the top 15 tools for executives that you should use. And someone's like, oh my God, I couldn't handle that. I couldn't have done that. Wow. So what makes me want to nerd out on 100 different tools and wants to try every new tool that comes out? I've done it since computers were invented. What's the new tool? What's a new way of
Wow.
doing something? What's the new software? I've nerd out on software comparisons. I've spent months and months comparing them, looking at them, trying all the tools. If there's a new one out, literally, I love it. So I'm passionate about it, and I always love learning. I always love new things, new evolution, new technology. If you haven't noticed, so I'm always learning, love it, and I love educating people on it. So it would make sense that I'm always on the cutting edge, seeing where it's going. It's just intrinsically interesting to me. Is that the right word?
Yes.
So I am fueled by this. And so it is a passion, not a chore. And I find doing 50 different things at one time very easy. And other people are like, oh, I'm overwhelmed. Just whoa, dial it back. And I'm like, nah, I'm already way ahead. Where I'm already done all that. I'm 5 streets ahead. So I think I just work like that. And probably as a generator, I love work and I'm passionate and I do a lot of work, but I'm also what you call the campaigner personality type. So I'm love it. I'm like, come on, everybody, get on the AI bus. Come on, we're going. Get on the bus and let's go. And I'm
Right.
inspiring everyone. Come on. And everyone's like, okay, you can do it. So I just naturally am that way inclined. And so I just love doing it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. As we come to the close of the interview, my last question is, if you could leave the listeners with one tip where they could use AI to support their business and community, what would that one tip be?
Beautiful. I had to think, and I think we've sort of touched on it, and this nicely encapsulates a few things that we've just touched on in this talk. Integrating AI into your work as sort of a thinking partner, a brainstorm partner, a sounding board, rather than just a tool. Actually using it as someone you're really soundboarding off. I've spent this whole year using it as a brainstorming partner and a collaborator. And the key is that it helps you enhance your creativity. It can help you enhance your productivity when you stretch the AI and what it is capable of. I'm always testing ChatGPT. How much can I give it? What can I test it? More, more, more. What can it do? And it's thinking and stretching me, and I give it briefs and ideas and and give me that. And I'm mega prompting all this stuff. And I'm like, cool, let's see what you can do, buddy. And really stretching the ability to, you could call it hyper productivity mode that I'm in now, because AI has just made me so productive. You can do so much stuff so much faster, get more insights, you can do more research. Is incredible. You just have 50 staff on steroids that are always 100% on, and then just give them work to do. Yeah, imagine that power. Oh my God, it's amazing. Everyone's talking about AI agents, get them all to do your work. Well, yes, it's like that. It can do your decision making, it can do your innovative thinking, it can do your strategy, it can help you with all of this. It's like a strategic partner. If you hired an agency that's your strategic partner and will help you in all things, but that's what they say, right? Now, I'm not replacing agencies, I'm saying AI has the ability to help you do that and to think like that. And you can tap into maybe more of your potential because you've freed up time. You maybe expand your thinking. You've really tapped into your higher level strategic thinking. It allows you to free up white space, which I've said to someone recently in business. We're all overworked, under resourced, well, especially in New Zealand. And we need to claim back some white space. You need to give your staff space to breathe and think so they can do their best work. And what better way than to use AI to free up some of that time by making some of the more menial stuff faster so they can extend their human brain to apply that to where it is best used so we can do our best work, right? So it's like the next level up. If we're hired an assistant, we delegate all that basic stuff to, we can step up to the next level as strategic managers with their oversight and use your human brain where it is best placed and use the tools to maximize everything you're doing.
This is fantastic. This has been wonderful. Thank you, Amanda, for joining me on the Core Women podcast today.
Thank you so much. So much. It's been amazing.
Absolutely. You can follow Amanda Jeffs on LinkedIn, on Instagram at market.works, and at marketworks.com. And she is AImagazine.com.
Thank you for joining us on the Core Women podcast with Dr. Summer Watson. We're so glad you're here and would love to connect more with you. Find us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Core Women, and on Twitter at Core Women 1. For more about Core Women and Dr. Watson, visit corewomen.com. Want more support and resources for amazing women like you? Great! Join Dr. Watson and Jen Fontanilla at the Life, Love, and Money Collective, a Core Women production that aids in understanding the key traits that might be getting in the way of living a life that you are absolutely passionate about. Connect with Summer and Jen and find out more at thelifeloveandmoney.com.